Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahümme ehdina fîmen hedeyt ve afina fîmen afeyt ve tevellena fîmen tevelleyt ve barik lena fîmâ a'tayt ve qina şerre mâ kadayt fe inneke teqdî ve lâ yuqdâ aleyk. İnnehu la yezullu men valeyt ve la ya'uzzu men adeyt. Tebârekte Rabbena ve Teâleyt. Felekel hamdu alâ mâ kadayt. Estağfiruke Allahümme ve netûbu ileyk. Allahümme allimna ma yenfa'una ve enfa'na bima allamtana ve zidna ilma. Ve sallillahumma ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellim. Rabbena gfir lena verhamna ve ente hayrul rahimin. Amin. Velhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Now, we have been studying the section Furqan, and we studied the verse 35, which says in translation, we gave the book to Moses and assigned to him his brother Aaron as a helper. So that was an interesting point for us when we discussed whether the prophets need help. In which sense, we talked about it, and then we went to another verse from Anbiya, 21st section of the Qur'an, verse number 89, and we studied last week. That's why I'm going to just read the translation only. And Zechariah, when he called out to his Lord, "My Lord, don't leave me on my own, though you will remain when all else has ceased to be." Now we said, something is strange here. I'm looking strange. Don't leave me on my own. Yeah. And in which sense? And there was a big question mark. Though you will remain when all else has ceased to be, seems to be khairul warithin. The word warith is normally translated as inheritor. Sorry. If we take it literally, it means, and you alone will, you alone are the best inheritor. Best inheritor. But the translation, of course, tried to avoid from this misunderstanding, seemingly misunderstanding, and said, though you will remain when all else has ceased to be. It means everything will cease to be. You will be the one who inherits the whole creation. It means, we understand, you means the creator of the universe. Again, it means God. So God is going to inherit the universe. Seems strange because God is the creator of the universe. Is he going to inherit something from someone else? These are all really looking strange explanations or news from the Quran, excuse me. So we will try to understand what does it mean. And we promised that last week we are going to go into the deep meaning of these kind of verses mentioned in the previous verses that we studied before. So here, وَجَعَلْ لِي وَزِيرًا مِنْ أَهْلِي, also from the section 20, here it is. So Taha, verse 29, which means a helper, somebody to help me to take up my load from my family. That was another thing, why specifically from your family. We talked about this last week. Now, Zechariah's prayer also is something to do with somebody to help him and not let him be alone on his own self. So somebody he needs to help. What does it mean? Asking God to give me helper. So we said last week, with the last the point 2, you will remain when all else has ceased to be. Literally, God is the best inheritor. Sounds like properties will remain to God. He will inherit them. What exactly it may mean. So in our prayers also, what we should really mean when we say, رب لا تذرني فردا وأنت خير الوارثين. God, don't leave me alone because you are the best inheritor. Now, I think we have to understand first, we mentioned, although we may not have emphasized on the importance of the meaning the inheritance as far as the prophets are concerned. So the prophet Moses, prophet Zechariah prayed to God. In principle, and it was obvious in the life of the prophet that they stated that prophets do not bequeath, leave behind any property. Whatever property, if there is any at all, left behind the prophet's time are to be transferred into public treasury, not to their children or anything, because prophets are not supposed to pile up properties so that people may think that they are really trying to make money out of their message. So as a means of their worldly benefits. So, of course, these are the prophets. Of course, it is also a message for us that we should have our priorities, which is not piling up the properties, but doing something else, preparation for our eternal life, where our spirits really created to be a candidate for an eternal life. Our spirit is not a candidate to reside in this world. It is a transient world, and we know that body deteriorates in this world, but the spirit requires permanence, and there is no permanence in this world. So we understand that prophets are distributing their message, which they receive from God, to people in order to satisfy their spirit. And the first addressee of the message are the prophets themselves. So they receive the message in order to satisfy their spirit, and they distribute the message in order to satisfy the spirit of the people who receive this message. So their mission is really not only prioritized for their spirit, but also only for the spreading the message. So the prophet means spreads the message and is not concerned in any material return from their message. This is the principles of being a prophet. So when they say, when Zechariah says, in the previous verse we studied, don't leave me alone in this world, and I know you are the best inheritors, but I need some helper, but not confuse that the prophet is giving the message. We should not confuse from this message that I will pray to God to give me a helper from my family, in which case Prophet Moses prayed to God, from my family. It means if the first thing comes to my mind, so from my family somebody will help me and inherit my properties. Is it the case? So this verse that inshallah we are going to study today, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, section 55 and 27, 26 and 27. Now, كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. It's a very beautiful verse that we have to really grasp the meaning. We need to do it. Everything being on earth is bound to perish. كل من عليها فان. But we will study the details of it a bit. Every being on earth is bound to perish. But the face of your Lord, literal meaning the face of your Lord, will remain forever. وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ, full of majesty, el-jalali wal-ikram, and glory. Now, everything on earth, the Qur'an's choosing choice of the words are important. There must be some people know. There are some people who knows. Who knows Arabic. He doesn't say kullu ma alayha. He says kullu men alayha. What is the difference between orthogrammatically you can say kullu ma alayha? It is possible, but kullu men. Ma is used like in English, what? It means what? Whatever it is on the earth, on earth. But men is used for conscious beings. In English, we say who. Whoever is on the earth. Now, rather than using whatever is on the earth, on earth, transient, has to perish, Only the face of your Lord will remain forever. The difference is, whatever is on earth, not only that we understand conscious beings, we understand as conscious beings, like human being. We don't say for the mountain, who. We say, what? Uh, that is clear, I think. It's very simple. It is very simple to understand. But how are we going to make sense of the Quran saying, whoever on earth is bound to perish? Now, only conscious beings and unconscious beings are going to remain in the world? No. If conscious beings are going to be really taken away from the world, unconscious beings will be meaningless to remain behind. Excuse me. What on earth it means? Because it seems to be problematic. Now, as far as we understand, by looking at the universe, it seems to be unconscious. Everything, apart from human beings, and just a little bit some animals, are conscious beings. We can say, when you look at a dog, for example, you say, it knows something. It is aware of something. Animals also aware of something. When you try to catch them, they run away. No. But how about earth? How about, I don't know, trees or plants or air and others? According to the Quranic understanding, Quranic message, although the things that look matter seems to be unconscious, but the way they exist, they consciously uh, reflect, demonstrate the creator's qualities and announces them. So Quran is asking us, this is very important. Quran is inviting us to see the conscious declaration side of this matter or uh, material beings. The declaration is conscious. So Quran is inviting us to pay attention to the things that you think unconscious, but their announcement, their declaration in the way that they exist is conscious. You can communicate with this conscious declaration. You can communicate with conscious communication and get the message from them as if a conscious being is speaking to you, giving the news about the qualities of their creator. That's an amazing way of saying it with one word, not even word, man. It is just a pronoun used for conscious beings. That is why, inshallah, we will study this in our discussion, Tuesday's discussion, tomorrow's discussion, inshallah, maybe today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow, because we have a lot of stuff to talk about tomorrow about Bismillah. But and there we will study why Quran uses the Alameen, Rabbil Alameen. Alameen is the plural form used for conscious beings. Rabbil Alameen, it means heavens and the earth. We will talk about it then, but the same message we will get from this words as well. So when we read the Quran, of course we say every being on earth is bound to perish. We don't notice this in English. I don't blame anyone because it needs some sort of a bit study about it. But if we don't pay attention to the message of the Quran while we are reading the Quran, what is the purpose of the Quran? Which kind of message the Quran's aim is to teach me? So, do you think God is telling me that everything on earth will bound to perish? I know everybody is dying. I don't need to this news to hear. But there are many other layers of meaning there. So, but the face of Lord will remain forever. Now, do you remember now the face of your Lord will remain forever? May remind you that in the previous verses that we studied, وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الْوَارِثِينَ, you are going to receive everything back. It means everything will disappear, but you will remain. You are the creator, the owner of it. Everything will remain, and you will not remain. Sorry, everything will disappear, and only you will remain. Now, in this word, it says, the face of your Lord will remain forever. What does it mean, the face of your Lord? Now, when we pay attention to the meaning of every being, every being, animate, inanimate, according to us, conscious or unconscious. Now, their announcement is something to do what? Qualities of their creator. Now you understand now, the face of your Lord, it means the aspect of the beings, creatures, will remain. The face of your Lord, the aspect of the beings which announces God, the Creator's qualities, will remain. So far, let's understand this. Figuratively speaking, this one, number one, what does face of your Lord mean? Now, explanation. Figuratively speaking, the face of Lord, not his that, his being, his essence, but the face of your Lord manifests forever in the existence of the beings, but the things are created on earth on a transient base, just to function like a mirror. Mirror, let's call it according to us, material side of the things it seems to be fixed. But the announcement manifested in the matter, continues the created, announces the infinite qualities of their creator. Now, the things will die, but the announcements will remain. Why? Because announcements that they make remain in the world. In our mind, in our understanding, declaring that our Creator is the most powerful one, the most knowledgeable one, most merciful one, most beautiful one, the wisest one, announces. One thing goes, another thing is created. One thing goes, another thing created. The things are transient, but announcement remains, announcing the creator's qualities there. So from there, we understand that the inheritor, God is the best inheritor, means the aspect of the universe which announces God's qualities will remain forever. Now did we understand this thus far? Everything disappears, but the aspect of the things that announces the creator's qualities remain. For example, a man dies, in his existence, we see that his creator must be the awesome creator, most powerful one, the wisest one, most knowledgeable one, unimaginable design he is giving to the created beings, gives perfect forms. Now, I die, my child's existence demonstrates the same qualities. He dies, she dies, and their children also keep announcing it. So the things are, plants die, and whatever they announce, it remains in the following creations. That means God is the best inheritor. Did we understand so far? So that we will go back to prophets' prayer to God. Give us, please assign us a helper. Anything problem, anything, Afshan? Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead, Afshan.
So why can't we simply say that the face of the Lord refers to the qualities?
Why do you mean why does the verse not say qualities of creator? Yeah?
I mean, you define face of your Lord as aspect of material beings that announce qualities of your Lord, of your creator. That makes sense. I get it. But if the material beings are gone, then if you're just focused on the announcement, so
Mhm.
the announcement are the qualities. So why not we simply say face of Lord refers to the qualities? Just make a summarize. Like is it incorrect? Let me put it this way. Is it incorrect to say face of your Lord is referring to the qualities? I
No, it is correct. The qualities they are announcing. In this way, Quran is teaching us. When you look at a thing, excuse me. When you look at a thing, definitely you will see that they have two faces, two faces, two faces. One aspect, face means aspect. One aspect is transient, continuously disappears, and new one comes, new ones come, new ones come, new ones come. We see it. And also, the Quran is drawing our attention that it has another face. Don't forget. What is that? This face is permanent, remains there, continuously shows itself, demonstrates itself. And he says, this face is your Lord's announcement. You will understand how to look at the word. One side is transient, one aspect is transient, according to the conditions of this kind of creation in the world, in this world. Quran is teaching me how to communicate with the universe and says, don't lose yourself on the transient aspect of it. Pay attention to the permanent aspect of it. Everything announces the same qualities. It manifested in everything at every time, at every moment, at the same time. At the same time, so that we will learn how to communicate with our environment, with the creation out there. So Quran is saying, now everything is transient, but there is an aspect of them. They are not transient. They are permanent. So this is a kind of education, not clearly saying that they wouldn't be trained to communicate with the world how we can really benefit from the existence, and so that we will learn how to what is the purpose of my existence, and what am I expected to do, why all these human qualities are given to me. No, that's the way of training, so that I will pay attention to it, so that I will learn how to really live in this world and make my life meaningful. So that is, I mean, for example, here we studied what means not kullu man alayha rather than kullu ma alayha. So I have to pay attention. Whatever I see in this world is a conscious being, by using, which is called in Quranic science, ijaz. Ijaz means speaking in a concise way. The smallest words are used, the shortest words, shortest ways are used to explain the largest meaning. By the way, it is not related to this verse, but in principle, we have to learn, we have to know that when Quran speaks about something, it means something, right? When Quran doesn't speak about something, do you think there is meaning in it? That the Quran doesn't say anything about it. Anybody? Anyone? Do you think there is meaning? For example, while we are studying Bismillah on Tuesday, in the name of God. In the name of God, what? It is not stated in the name of God. Right? In the name of God. In the name of God, what? What are you talking about? I mean, in the name of God, what? So it is silent. Doesn't say, in the name of God, universe exists. In the name of God, you do this. In the name of God, you exist. No, doesn't say this. By not saying, Quran says thousands of words. It's amazing. Why? You say, in the name of God, I am looking. In the name of God, I eat. In the name of God, I drink. In the name of God, I walk. In the name of God, plants are coming into existence. In the name of God, animals are living in this way. In the name of God, the quality, for example, a meat, piece of meat speaks. In the name of God, he speaks. All the words that human beings can imagine and use must be understood that this thing is coming into existence in the name of God. How Quran explained this? By saying nothing. Oh, that is unimaginable. Now, this is the best example, but there are many, many examples, not as clear as Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So in the name of God, revelation is coming down. In the name of God, the prophet is receiving it, because only through the creation of God, the revelation can be received by a prophet. For example, when prophet receives the message, he will say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And the Gabriel will teach him, say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I'm learning. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I am receiving. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I am delivering. Not on my name, the Creator's name. It is amazing. So this is not related to our verse today. So let's come to a relationship with the prophet's prayers, asking for help. Now, prophets don't leave behind, bequeath any property to their children or relatives, wife, children, siblings, whatever. They don't. So what Zechariah, the prophet Zechariah is asking now, let's go back. And Zechariah, when he called out to his Lord, my Lord, don't leave me alone on my own, though you are the best inheritors. Yeah. And when everything goes, you receive everything. Did we understand now? Everything goes, but his names remain there. He receives the results. It will, if you like, God harvests what the creation, the result of creation. So I have to see the thing will go, but the qualities will remain with the owner of the qualities manifested there. So when Zechariah or Moses asked God, give me helper, in which sense they are asking the helper? Because they are not going to ask to help them for material benefits, worldly benefits, bodily benefits. They are asking for help for according to the purpose of their mission. So here Zechariah says that, please God, don't leave me alone. Give me a helper to help me to convey my message, not to help me to, I don't know, build my house. That is prophetic mission. Did you get the relationship? It means to help with the message that to help me with somebody close to me from my relatives, from my brother, for example, my brother Moses asked, and from my very close ones, related ones, they will help me to spread the message, because my mission is to spread the message which talks about or teaches people about the aspect of the universe which manifests, announces, declares the qualities of their creator. The message, the prophetic message they receive is also teaching people how to learn this declaration of the universe about the creator's qualities, about about the qualities of their creator. So did we understand now why they ask helper? And by the way, we will come to the third aspect of these verses. How about ourselves? Are we not going to ask God to give us helpers? In which sense? That is the third aspect of it. How about the second aspect? Is it clear? I mean, we don't have to really rush. We have to understand something. Again, Afshan, thank you. Everybody should join us. But of course, Afshan had the first hand up. Please, Afshan, go ahead.
So it's clear to me what you're saying. Thank you for that. I'm so curious, Doctor, when you say that the property of prophets is not bequeathed to their family and it's transferred to the community budget. I'm so curious, where do you get the information? How do we know this?
There is an obvious saying from narration from the Prophet Muhammad. And also practically, though now this is something interesting. So we have to talk about it. Well, we have to be comfortable. Prophets don't leave material inheritance. All right. But, you know, Prophet Solomon or Suleiman or Solomon, or whatever it is, Solomon, received the kingdom from his father, David. Is it true? David was a king.
Yes,
Solomon.
the Quran, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. If we read the Quran superficially, it means that. It means he received the property, kingdom, from his father. But don't forget, prophet, the mission of prophet, what? To be a king or to use any opportunity they are given in this world in order to convey the message to the needy ones. So the kingdom of David, kingdom of Solomon, the ark of Noah must be understood their message, not really the kingdom. So when in Solomon's kingdom, David's kingdom, is figuratively presented to us in such a way that as if they were kings. Now, where is the prophethood? The Prophet Muhammad was the leader of the Medina administration. So the Medina administration became a huge state and ready to compete with Roman Empire and Pars Empire, nowadays Iran. Pars Empire, that was a huge empire. And it was the third power center in the world that time. Was he a king? Practically, we know that he didn't have anything. He left only his, what is the word? To wear the iron things in the war, how is it called?
Armor.
Armor, yeah. Thank you. Because he was ever ready to protect the community if needed physically. So his sword and his armor, according to the narration, were the only properties left behind. The rest is he was living almost on the daily basis. On the daily basis. What I need today, sure, that's it I have. How about tomorrow? Tomorrow, God will provide me. So they didn't pile up the properties. But we shouldn't confuse that we should be the same way. No, we will study while we are studying the third aspect of this message that we gathered from these verses. That is related to the third aspect. Now we are studying the second aspect. No, embarking on Noah's Ark. What does it mean? Noah's message. Whoever, we will study this, inshallah, if not this week, next week. Noah's Ark represents what? His message. If someone accepts, embraces the message, Noah's message, He is saved from the the words doesn't come to my mind when I need it. From flood. They call it delusion or something. I don't know the other word. But flood. Flood of what? Flood of denial. Everybody gets into it and they are drawn. They are drawn. Flood of disbelief. So Noah's Ark represents the safety, saving yourself from drowning into the worldly concerns, the materialistic, naturalistic understanding of this world, forgetting about, not paying attention to the declaration that the beings are announcing. So whoever embarks on the message of Noah, saved. That is clear. Whoever obeys the kingdom of David and Solomon, they are saved. What does it mean? So when we understand that Queen of Sheba came to the palace of Solomon, what did she see there? Transparent palace. Can you imagine a palace transparent? Everything shows what is in it. It shows what is in it. It means transparent message. Nothing is secret. Everything is obvious, clear to understand. So Queen of Sheba came, and at the end, what did he do? Declared. Did she do? She declared that I submitted my being, my worldly authority in this world, of course, world authority to the Lord of the prophet Solomon. It means the Solomon's message declares who is the Lord of the universe. I submit my existence, my authority, my all power, everything to this Lord. It means that they all are from my creator. So I submit to it. So it means just submitting herself to the creator of the universe as declared in Solomon's kingdom. It means Solomon's message. Did we get it? So that is how the Quran really presents these beautiful figures of speech and allegories, metaphors, so in a beautiful way. So, I mean, I cannot really appreciate enough the message of the prophetic stories. David's encounter with the question about 199 sheep and one sheep, two brothers are arguing. Oh, amazing stories in his kingdom, while he is declaring his message. So nothing to do with this material inheritance, that we can really understand the Quran as talking about how rich the Solomon was. When I'm a poor guy, what shall I do with this rich man? What shall I do with him? This richness doesn't help me. Why do you give this example of a king to me? What am I going to do with this king? So I have to submit myself to Solomon or David in these particular examples so that they will give me some benefit. What is the mission of prophets? Now we have to question this. Why are they prophets? So we have to read it according to the mission, purposes of the prophets. They are presented to us as prophets. It means they are the representative figures of the message bearers. So you have to benefit from the messages of the prophets as it is described in these ways, parables and metaphors, figures of other kinds of speeches, allegories, similes, amazing. Now, so the Quran cannot be read just like you are reading a novel or a law book, impossible. And also stories, history, what happened in the past. None of my business, they are gone. You get it. Inshallah, is it clear now? The figures of speech give the opportunity for the readers that everybody can benefit from it at their level. You can interpret in this way. Another person sees it from another perspective according to their capacities. So you cannot really have a revelation in the form of a law book or mathematical equations. You cannot have deep explanations of the mathematical equations. That's it. 2 + 2 makes 4. That's it. 4. That's it. One equation, the conclusion, one answer, fixed. But Quran speaks in a way that you can benefit from it in many ways, according to your need, according to your capacity. Shall we move to the third aspect? How am I going to ask God to give me a helper or helpers? Are we not supposed to ask God to give us helpers? Yes, we are. Quran says even the prophets did it. In which sense? Now, prophets their mission is to be a prophet. In every aspect, a prophet. The famous, he is a prophet being a father. He is a prophet being an administrator. He is a prophet being a warrior. He is a prophet helping the people, distributing the public budget. Prophet in everywhere. So we cannot read any part of the prophetic life. It means if you read a Sirah book, prophets, for example, Prophet Muhammad والسلام's Sirah book, and this Sirah book describes the prophet's life in material terms. His eyes were beautiful. None of my business. What am I going to do with it? Am I going to get married with him? What are you talking about? He's an handsome guy. What is it to do with prophetic mission? He is the prophet representing God's message in his life. So watch out. So if a Sirah book goes in this way, describing the material side of prophet's life, it is not a Sirah book. It's a history book. Nevertheless, most the original Sirah book authors, Ibn Hisham, Ibn Ishaq, they were historians. They were historians. They were not even hadith hadith narrations, authorities in hadith. They were historians. Historians means write something without any evidence and make it flowery, sounding flowery. No, we have to be very careful. We have to be selective. No, what is prophetic mission here? There are good points, but also not related to prophetic mission. We have to be careful while we are really reading these prophetic biographies, Sira books, the famous Sira books. There are good ones lately produced, so touching our practical life. They are much better than the ancient ones or previous ones because they want us to benefit from it rather than read the history or whatever in the past. So how many people were in such and such war? Who were they? None of my business. They were companions, that's it. And how the prophetic mission was supported by people. So when we ask God, please God, give me helpers. When we ask God to give us the helpers, or don't leave me alone in this world. In which sense? The Quran says you can ask helpers in order to benefit from the purpose of your existence in this world, that they will help you. For example, please God, give me help, provide me some help, which will teach me what the truth is. And please God, give me some help, which will help me to spread the message. We have to ask because the prophets were asking, and Quran is giving the examples of their prayers, teaching us that we have to also ask for helpers. But as far as the Quran's guidance side is concerned, we have to give the priority to ask helpers in learning and distributing the message, spreading the message, learning the message. Give me a good teacher, and which makes sense what they say. And also, when I learn something, I have to distribute to others. Because if I have some property, I have to distribute to the needy ones. But the most precious property is the property which helps me, nourishes me as far as my eternal life is concerned. Temporary life is concerned is temporary, but people are dying for eternal satisfaction, and they don't know where to find. And we run and work and run to collect money to give food. When they need it, we will come to this point. We can do it, but the most essential need of people is obviously to save their eternal life, infinite life. Temporary life needs temporary attention. Eternal life needs eternal attention. So what we have to do now, primarily to ask people to help, to ask God to give me some helpers to help me to learn and spread the message. But I'm living in this world. I can't be like prophets, the ideal man. If only I could. I love it, but seems to be impossible for me. So, but I need something, for example, for food, for shelter, for maintaining my life. And for example, I need a transportation and I don't have a car, for example. And I can ask somebody to help me if needed. But this is not the priority. We should help each other. We keep saying that Muslim brothers support each other, help each other. In which sense? To have a company together? Be careful. Be careful. if you use religion to have material side, a company, oh, you are a Muslim, I trust you. So I am a Muslim, you should trust me. Let's have a company. When we use the religion for material benefits, God always turns it back. Give us the money, but you will be loser by having this money. Even at the end, you will fight. So, وَلَا تَشْتَرُوا بِآيَاتِي ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا. Religion or religious brotherhood or sisterhood should not be exploited for worldly benefits. God's threatening verses are very, very severe. So, if you trust a man, do it. Don't confuse with religious brotherhood in order to make money. But this is a Muslim, not because he is a Muslim, because he's a trustful person. Have a relationship with it. Ask somebody to help you about, for example, building your house. Example. Because he is powerful and you trust him. That's why you will ask him. Don't mix the religious side. We are Muslim brothers, give me some money. No. So you are rich, I am needy. Give me. Quran specifically emphasizes that you have to give to needy one, relatives, miskin, and the travelers, the ill people, cannot manage their life, but doesn't say your Muslim brothers, your Muslim ill people. No. No, even doesn't say believers. Needy people. You see, Quran doesn't mix up. Needy people. Doesn't specify Muslims, believers. It means we have to have a clear-cut relationship. As far as the message learning and dispersing is, we have to ask God to give us helpers about the messages. But when it comes to worldly benefit, don't confuse with religion. Unfortunately, this is not well understood at all. We keep saying that help your Muslim brothers. No, Quran says help needy ones. So we have to ask God to provide me helpers as far as my worldly needs are concerned from anyone. But for the message, of course, we cannot ask God to help to give me some helpers who don't believe in the message. So I think the third aspect also is clear. Anything again? Anybody? And any question, anything? The time is up. This is the beautiful verses that related to each other apparently have nothing to do with each other, but they are, really. I was expecting some comments, some help from some of you, but you keep quiet. Okay, since you have no question, seems to be time is up. We understood whatever you want. Let's stop it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعوانا إن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة